I'm Emma, 34 years old. I went to vocational school and spent my 20s working in healthcare, directly in facilities. I absolutely love this job where clients often show their gratitude, and I take great pride in it. I was inspired to get into caregiving by my grandpa. He was gentle and always made time for me. But he had a stroke when I was in middle school. The home care staff who came to assist him taught me some basic caregiving skills. It wasn't just grandpa. I wanted to help a lot of people in need. So I decided to pursue a career in social welfare. I have a younger sister, Olivia, who's 8 years my junior. She's the second child my parents always wanted, and she's been spoiled her entire life. As a result, she's grown into a rather self-centered person. When I started working, Olivia was still in middle school. Whenever I'd talk about work at home, she'd say, "Ew, Emma, you help strangers in the bathroom? That's gross. Keep away from me." She'd mockingly laugh at me. I'm the quiet type, so I'd never talk back. I had to confront Olivia about her selfishness before, but she's so good with words that she shut me down every time. Because of those tough experiences, I couldn't bring myself to say out loud what I really thought about her character. Olivia, on the other hand, has a free-spirited personality and lots of friends. Her dating life has never hit a dry spell either. "My friend just married a CEO and now parties every day. I want to join the elite crowd too," she'd say. Olivia frequently attended high-profile dinner parties, and she managed to get engaged to the heir of a private hospital. Ironically, this hospital is where I work, and her fiancé, Derek, is an acquaintance of mine. Olivia, uninterested in my life, probably has no idea. I've also kept mum about knowing Derek. "I've decided to get engaged to Olivia. She's just like you. Emma, such a great person." Derek shared his engagement news with me, making me feel quite conflicted. I can't help but think Olivia is putting on a front for him. Though I had my concerns about Derek, if they love each other, there's nothing to be done but wish them well. It seems the wedding will be a grand affair, just as Olivia desires. "I'm planning a surprise to dazzle Olivia on the big day," Derek confided in me. I told him I'd help out in any way I could. It's their moment to shine after all. Time to get new dresses and shoes ready for the wedding. As her sister, I even splurged on an expensive necklace I'd never normally buy, just to make sure she wouldn't be embarrassed by me. Then, out of nowhere, Olivia called me the day before the wedding. "I heard from Derek that there will be some VIP guests, so you, the poor Emma, better not come." I was stunned. "Wait, you're saying you don't want your own sister there? Wouldn't that offend people?" Cutting me off, she sneered, "I'm joining the elite, you know. It's embarrassing to have a sister in caregiving. Caregiving jobs are filthy, tough, and low-paying. They're bottom of the barrel work." Olivia always disdains other people's jobs despite never having worked a day in her life, always making excuses about her jobs being boring or beneath her. She continued, "The VIPs are Derek's mentors. They're high-status people. I can't be introducing them to poor Emma." Hearing Olivia laugh while she said it made my blood boil. Why demean caregiving so much? There are many people whose lives are better because of this profession. Apparently, Olivia, the naive rich girl, can't even fathom that. Well, she'll regret it then. I held back my retort, simply saying, "All right, got it," and hung up. Then came the wedding day. The panicked staff relayed to Olivia, "One of the guests has abruptly canceled." Seems like Olivia didn't think much of it. However, the situation was more dire than she expected. The staff were flustered. Derek was consulting my parents. It makes sense. The surprise introduction of the VIP guest was ruined. Then I got a call from Mom. "What's this about you not coming, Emma? Everyone's waiting." I told her the blunt truth. "Olivia told me not to come because I'm poor. I feel bad for Derek, but I can't go now." I heard my mom sigh heavily on the other end. "That does sound like something she'd say. Are you sure you won't come?" "I can't, not after my sister has uninvited me. I'm sorry." I cut off Mom's words and responded that way. "All right, I get it. There's no helping it. I'll talk to Derek." Mom went straight to Derek and seemingly relayed what Olivia told me. You didn't have to see Derek's reaction to know what he was feeling. It's the first time I've ever seen Derek so angry, Mom told me later. Olivia, having changed into her dress, was nonchalantly scrolling through her phone, unconcerned with the staff's frenzy. She probably posted a selfie in her dress on social media and was collecting likes from everyone. Classic Olivia, always seeking validation. Who was the big guest supposed to be anyway? She asked the venue staff. That's when she first heard the name of the guest. Derek's big guest is... Why is it? Suddenly the room filled with whispers. Venue staff began apologizing to each attendee and started escorting them out. Olivia looked puzzled, not understanding why people were leaving. When she angrily asked, the staff told her something unexpected. The groom has asked that we send the attendees home. A stunned Olivia confronted the staff. What do you mean? What did Derek say? He said a wedding without guests is meaningless. Olivia hadn't realized how much Derek valued the guests. She wasn't aware of his surprise plans, so it was understandable. Thinking the ceremony could proceed as long as there were guests, Olivia finally got a grip on the situation and urgently called someone. Meanwhile, I was at home, leisurely sipping tea. Olivia must be freaking out right about now. Just as I predicted, a frantic call came in from Olivia. Emma, get here quick. What are you talking about? You told me not to come yesterday. As I responded calmly, I heard screaming on the other end. If there are no guests, it's pointless. Derek is sending everyone home, and why are you the big guest? I couldn't help but smile at Olivia's ranting over the phone. She wouldn't stop insisting that I come, so I reluctantly decided to head to the venue. It would be inconvenient if she showed up in my home in her dress. When I arrived at the venue, Olivia greeted me with a devilish expression. Convince Derek now, you useless person, and what do you mean you're the big guest? It makes no sense. Apparently, Derek hadn't yet explained our relationship. It's all your fault our wedding is ruined, Olivia vented at me. I thought to myself, the real issue is that you didn't invite me in the first place. But I chose to remain silent. I noticed people gathering behind Olivia. Of course, a bride in a dress with a devilish expression would draw attention, and the crowd was growing. Knowing my mean-spirited sister, she would probably throw out more insults. You might want to stop talking. I tried to warn her as her sister, but Olivia was unstoppable. Shut up. I was generous to invite you, a broke caregiver, so be grateful. The onlookers around us had clearly lost all respect for her. Even Olivia's friends seemed embarrassed and left the venue. Olivia had lost her friends, but it was all her own doing. Men, who appeared to be Derek's friends, kept their distance and began bad-mouthing Olivia. No one would want their friend's fiancé to be like this. As I silently watched Olivia, who was still treating caregivers like poor people, familiar faces appeared. It was Derek, his parents, and our own parents who saw Olivia berating me. Rushing over with a face red in anger was Derek. He had been told by the staff that the bride was causing a scene and had hurried over. Olivia, who had been berating me non-stop, suddenly turned pale the moment she saw Derek. The mask she had been wearing shattered in that instant. No, wait, it's not what you think. Emma didn't show up on time, so I was just wondering why she would skip without notice. Olivia stuttered and started making excuses, but Derek knew Olivia was lying because he heard from Mom why I was absent. You told her not to come, didn't you? Derek's shoulders were shaking with anger. He must have been incredibly disillusioned to see his friend, me, being insulted and lied to. Besides, whoever heard of a bride causing a scene at her own wedding with so many people watching? Derek looked down at Olivia as if she were trash. Emma is a care manager at our hospital. She's the person who helped me through tough times. There was a period when Derek was struggling with whether to take over the hospital management. He often said he couldn't become the head of the hospital because he wasn't getting along with veteran doctors. Seeing Derek down, I stepped in to help mediate relationships. I'd often encourage him, saying he'd do just fine when he was feeling low and lacking confidence. He still thanks me for that and calls me his benefactor. Derek is diligent and has been studying hard to take over the hospital. I've been giving him various tips from my perspective as a care manager. Before we knew it, we had become like siblings who could consult each other about anything. I said she was a big guest because I wanted to surprise you, Olivia. It was supposed to be a special appearance by Emma. Derek thought Olivia would be thrilled to find out her sister was also her fiancé's mentor. But what he actually saw was Olivia berating me. Derek must have already made up his mind. His angry face turned serious and he said, I can clearly see now that you look down on welfare workers. You seem to have told Emma to skip the ceremony because she's poor. I don't want to marry a woman like that. I've already decided to call off the engagement, which is why I was sending guests home. Olivia was at a loss for words. She was desperately trying to persuade him not to cancel the wedding now. But Derek wasn't the only one who was angry after hearing our exchange. Derek's dad, the hospital director, was also furious. I can't tolerate anyone who disrespects our staff on the front lines. My wife and I are both against this marriage. The director speaks in a firm tone. He not only focuses on medical care, but also on elder care, treating his staff with kindness. It was the first time anyone had seen the usually gentle director get angry. Derek's mom used to be a homemaker, but now volunteers at a senior care facility. She, too, is visibly angry, perhaps because of her close relationship with the caregiving staff. Olivia, disapproved of by both her fiancé and his parents, is visibly shaken. Then she turns her pleading eyes towards me. Emma, what I said earlier was just a joke. You understand me, right? She probably thought if Derek and I were close, I could convince him. But I'm sure she also thinks I'd listen because she's always looked down on me. It's clear what my shallow sister is thinking. Facing Olivia, I smile sarcastically and say, It's too late for apologies. You made your bed, now lie in it. I have no intention of convincing Derek. At this change in me, Olivia is both surprised and dumbfounded. Derek is like a brother to me. If he's decided to break off the engagement, I will respect his decision. I'm actually relieved he came to his senses. You wouldn't say that, Emma. Mom and Dad are on my side, right? Realizing I won't help her, Olivia glances at our parents. Noticing this, I say to my parents, who had been looking down in shame, if you spoil Olivia here, she'll just make the same mistakes. Both Mom and Dad nod quietly. Our parents often complain to me that they might have raised Olivia wrong. Though usually lenient with their youngest, they seem ready to change their approach to Olivia. We apologize for causing you discomfort. It's our fault for spoiling Olivia. We respect Derek's decision and agree to end the engagement. With no one on her side, Olivia collapses to her knees. And so, the engagement between Olivia and Derek comes to an end. The wedding was initially going to be fully funded by Derek and his parents. We'll cover the cancellation fees, as our parents have offered to help. Given that we were planning a lavish wedding, the amount will be substantial. Olivia still seemed to think our parents would bail her out. Even after hearing the sum, she acted as if it didn't concern her. Derek, who initiated the break, suggested they split the fee. Mom, who had been discussing the amount, says, Olivia, you'll have to pay this back, even if it takes a lifetime. Neither we nor Emma will provide any financial assistance. Caught off guard, Olivia starts to panic and cry. She's unemployed and has never held a job for long. Without a stable work history, she'd likely get turned down even if she did apply for jobs. Unable to find work and claiming she can't pay, I found her a job. The job was in elder care, the very field Olivia had been mocking. It's the perfect place for you to straighten up, I tell her. I take her to a senior care facility run by a strict, seasoned staff. As she's my sister, please feel free to train her rigorously, I say. We had told the veteran in advance about Olivia's situation. She doesn't have a caregiving license, so she'd start at minimum wage, and no matter how hard she works, She'll initially bring home just a bit over $1,000. That money will go entirely toward paying off the wedding venue's cancellation fees. Olivia can't rely on her parents for spending money anymore, so her days of extravagant fun are over. She's drifted away from her friends and seems to be shuttling just between home and work. She's had to sell off her designer items that she used to get as gifts from her parents and boyfriend because she's short on cash. Even then, it will likely take her years to pay off the full amount. Who would have thought Olivia, who used to look down on caregiving as a dirty job, would end up doing tasks like toilet assistance? Since then, it seems Olivia has been getting harshly scolded by the veteran every day and works while crying. Even after breaking off their engagement, Derek still cares for me as he always has. A few years later, he introduced me to his new girlfriend, saying he found someone truly kind this time. Seeing her smile, saying she fell for Derek's personality and not his status as an heir, I genuinely blessed their relationship, convinced they'd be happy. As for me, I continue my work as a care manager.
I'm really grateful you're here. Thank you.
Today, like every day, I'm thanked by the people I serve, and it makes me appreciate the worthiness of my job.